Andrew's done a really phenomenal job of backgrounding the story with the parent and the child up front. And so you have a whole bunch of history about queer culture, which is really impacting on the story at hand and creating a lot of nuances within the piece, which I think is really important because, you know, otherwise you get monolithic stories. And I think Sophia and Andrew were incredibly brave in saying, let's tackle real human beings. I mean, Andrew's dad was gay, you know, and it's this conversation about like gay parenting now, like, oh, what are they going to be like? It's like, well, I mean, they've been around. I wanted to say, I think Andrew and I met 6 years ago. Was it 6?
Cody was the very first actor attached on this movie. He's been on it for a very long time.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
He has been on it from day one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did not desert me.
And I was always, like, every year I was like, what's happening? Like, I was always emailing. But the thing that I found most interesting about it, besides the incredible team and the story, was Andrew and I had coffee and we spoke about the fact that there are kind of two types of films that are made about gay men, and often there's the kind of deified or heroified version of that story in which the gay lead gets no kind of complications, cannot be somebody who is nuanced, is not allowed to have faults or flaws because it's required of you to kind of lionize something about the experience. And I really enjoyed that it was an incredibly nuanced story about the conflict of a man coming to understand himself and raising a child in this environment, and what is right and what is wrong, and that we all make mistakes, and that there are beautiful things that come out of those mistakes as well. Because what was it, Andrew? People kept saying to you, oh no, you can't make this story. This is too. Do you remember this conversation?
Oh, of course I remember the conversation. No, it's no. There was just a lot. You know, there's a tendency to, when you have anyone who's sort of considered marginalized in society, to make sure that we present them in a way that is very, very positive, and which I believe in. But sometimes I think that's a very narrow scope sometimes, and quite often. We are not given the opportunity to have more developed and, like as Cody said, more nuanced, complicated characters just like everyone else. And that's what I loved about Alicia's memoir, is that he wasn't the poster child of perfect parenting. And that's, I think there's a lot of universal themes with that too. And that was really important to me, that this book does touch on a lot of universal themes.